Hey everyone, it's Chrissy here, the Creative Eclectic. Happy Saturday and welcome to Mystery Stamping. Hope that you are having a fabulous day and that you are well. Okay, I'm going to apologise in advance if I start sniffling or coughing, alright? I've still got this horrible flu or bug or whatever it is. So, just make sure we've got a picture. Okay. So, if you haven't done mystery stamping before, basically this is an opportunity to use your card stash and craft along with me. And the freedom of mystery stamping is that you do not need to worry about what the finished project is. The clues are open to interpretation. So this is just sort of a way of walking you step by step without having to overthink it. I know people sometimes when they go to a class, they overthink what the finished project will look like. So in mystery stamping, you don't see the finished project until the very end. Hi Jodie, no, not today. I haven't worked out that technology I haven't bought the program that allows me to stream on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And given I've got this cold, I didn't want to try and battle technology I didn't know. But it will be saved to YouTube after. So are you playing along today, Jodie? Excuse me. Alright. So, let's talk about our very first clue while we're waiting for people to come and watch. So we've got a first thing you're going to need is some coloured cardstock. Now this is just under a quarter of an A4 sheet. If you live in the US or North America and just cut yours the size of a quarter of a sheet of cardstock. Okay? So in Australia, I've cut it to the closest inch, so a full measurement. So 5 3/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so you'll need one of those because that's coloured cardstock 1. You'll also need a piece of the same colour cardstock, but this one's going to be 4 inches by 3 inches. Then you're going to need a different colour. Oh, that's lovely, Jodie. I'm glad you got to the hairdressers. Oh, I'm overdue. Okay, so this cardstock is 1/4 of an inch smaller than your biggest, an 1/8 of an inch smaller than your biggest cardstock. So it's 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. And there's 2 pieces of that. So one for the front, one for the back. Alright. Now, the next thing you're going to need is a Memories and More note cards. I don't know about you, but when I buy my Memories and More note cards and envelopes, I always use the big ones and I always have lots of the little ones left over because I don't generally make note cards. So, this is a good way to use those up. If you don't have a Memories and More note card, you will need a piece of basic white or very vanilla, whatever colour you want to use, which is 6.5 inches long by 4¼ inches wide. And on the long edge, you're going to score it at 3¼ Okay, so it'll fold it like that. All right. So if you're watching, make sure you tell me you're watching and where you're watching from. I can see there's a few people on. They might be watching not from a group or something. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is a piece of basic white that is 3¾ by 5½ inches. All right. And then you'll need 2 pieces, you'll need a scrap. So this will be for your die cuts and your sentiments. You'll also need some designer series paper. So this will be the same size as your basic white. Happy Saturday, Marnie. Hope you're well. So this piece is 3¾ by 5½. Oh, am I? I thought I sounded worse this morning, Marnie. I've been coughing and spluttering for the last half hour. Then you're going to need another piece of pattern paper, which is 2¾ by 3¾ So the pattern paper I am using is from the mini catalogue, and it is from the Easter Joy suite. So you'll find that on page 35. Hey, Wendy. Lovely to see you. Okay, so this is the paper we're using. So this has got a glossy side and a non-glossy side. So, and it's a bit thicker than normal cardstock. So anyway, all right. So then, as well as those papers, you're going to need some ribbon. And you're going to need, if you don't have ribbon, use twine. You can get away with not using it for the project. There's just one step that you'll skip out. Then you'll need some inks. So I'm using Balmy Blue, Basic Grey, and Smoky Slate. Of course, you're going to need your stamps. And if you so I'm using Woolly Friends, so that's a new one. I haven't even opened it yet. And also the coordinating punch. Okay. You'll need your scissors and a bone folder, and maybe your paper trimmer if you want to do that. Oh, you're doing your swaps for on stage, Wendy. I didn't do any. So I didn't think people would want my jams, and I generally don't do a lot of swaps on stage anymore. Just a time thing. All right. So if you're playing along, let me know. If not, I'm just going to pretend people are playing along, and I will leave some time for you to do each clue. Okay? So if you're watching it on replay, you can pause it at each section as well. Alright, so you won't actually see me make this. Alright? So, we finished with our first clue. We've got little bits of hair everywhere. I don't know where that's come from. Now we're going on to our second clue, which is our Memories and More note cards. Okay? So this is the one that's 6½ by 4¼ and you're just going to fold that in half and use your bone folder to make a nice crisp crease. Now some people don't know how to use a bone folder, so I just thought I'd demonstrate that. You just get your bone folder and go like that. Okay. Now when you're using the Memories and More or anything that's scored, fold when you score it, it'll have a divot, and you fold it the opposite way to that divot. Okay, so that's our very first clue. So when you finish the first clue, you can just type done in the comments, and we'll move to the next next clue. But I'm going to pretend that people are playing along, so I'll just move that over. So clue number 3. So we're working with this note card, and we're going to take our piece of 3 by 4 inch cardstock and stick it to the front of our note card and just in the centre. Okay. So that seems like a pretty easy thing to do. Don't use too much glue or adhesive, it's just being nice and maybe a little bit frugal with your glue. You don't want it oozing out everywhere. So as I said, this is a great way of using up those memories and more note cards if you don't make note cards. So you can use them as part of your card. And maybe next time or next live I might show something about other ways to use those note cards. Alright, so if you finish crafting with clue number 3, you're going to type 3 and done in the comments. Marnie, are you crafting along? So, oh, we've lost some people. That's alright. Sorry about that. I sound like Salty the Sea Lion. Okay, so next up we have our piece of designer series paper. So as I said, this is from the Easter Joy set, and so one side is embossed resist and the other side is just plain. So, and you can have it going, like you can have your pattern going that way or you can have it going that way. It all depends. So you're going to stick this piece of 2 inch by 2 3/4 inch. No, 2 3/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch. There. Onto your center of your card. Okay. Now, if you're using directional paper for either of your patterns, make sure the direction is going, like the portrait view is the same. Okay, just so that it makes sense later. All right. So there we go. We're just popping that in the centre. And once you've done... Good morning, Megan. How are you? Finish those swaps now? Wendy's frantically doing her swaps too. All right. You're not playing along, Megan? You're not a mystery stamper, are you? All right. So if you are, we can go back and have a look at the other clues. All right. Okay, so once you've... that's good. No. Oh, you haven't finished your swaps yet, and you are good, and now you're just watching. Okay, so clue number 4, when you've done that, you type in the comments if you're watching live, 4 and done. I can't see anyone crafting along, so I'm going to move to clue number 5 now. So this one sounds a bit more complicated. So you're going to use these three biggest pieces, your coloured cardstock 1 and your coloured cardstock 2. So it says position one piece of a coloured cardstock 2, this one, into the large piece of coloured cardstock 1, which is that one in the centre. Alright, and so we're going to do that. So it's a 2-for-1 clue, this one. Now the reason I'm not showing you each, as I do each step, is because I want you to be able to not think, oh, I have to do it exactly the way Chris is doing it, and it gives you some creative freedom. Okay, the second part of this step is then mount the second piece of coloured cardstock 2 into the centre back of those 2 layers. Alright, so we'll just pop that into the centre back. Alright, and that's clue number 5 done. That's pretty easy so far. I hope you're okay playing along at home. Then we're going to move on to clue number 6. Then you're going to attach your large piece of pattern paper, pattern number 2, this one here, which is 3 3/4 by 5.5 if you're in the this is in inches, by the way, if you're in the Australian measurements. I'll just pop that there. And you're going to pop that in the centre of the card front. Okay, so these pieces here are your base, and you're going to pop that into the centre of it. Yeah, Megan, I'm doing okay. I had a coughing fit before I came on live. I'm trying not to cough. Mornings and about 4 o'clock in the afternoon are the worst, I think. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so once you've done clue number 6, we're now going to move on to clue number 7. So if you're crafting it along at home, live, you would be typing the 6 and done, which is the clue number, in the comments. Okay, so the piece of ribbon that you need is about 8 inches long, thereabouts. I didn't measure, I haven't cut mine off yet. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half and wrap it. So it says fold it an 8-inch piece of ribbon in half and anchor it to the note card so that it sits flush with the fold. So that's what I mean by that. So it sits flush like that, that's the fold, and the fold of the ribbon is on there. And then you're going to attach it to the back. I didn't say that. Okay? And then, once you've done that, you're going to attach it to the front centre of your card. Alright? Now you need to have enough length to be able to tie a bow. It does sound nasty, Megan. It's actually improved a hell of a lot. I'll be wearing a mask on Wednesday, so yeah, so I don't give it to you. Masks actually stop the germs from spreading, not from you getting it, if that makes sense. Well, they do stop some germs, but not many. Okay. Yeah, it's a massive improvement, that cough, Megan. Megan is my on-stage roomie, so she doesn't want me to be sick. Like, we've even foregone our catch-ups because I was coughing. Okay. The cough will be gone by Wednesday anyway, Megan. God, I hope so. Anyway, I'm just putting mine together. I was too busy reading the comments to do the next step. How silly am I? No, don't answer that question. Okay. At least I don't sound like Darth Vader today. Steve reckoned it was like I was Darth Vader coming down the hall. You know how Darth Vader is from Star Wars, breathes really deeply, and yeah. But anyway. All right. Okay, once you've attached your little cardstock, I've given you a bit more time on this one. And once you've attached that to the middle of your card, now if you're using a card base like this one with a pattern, you can line up your note card with the stuff with the lines to make sure it's straight and centered. Yes, Marnie, that is true. But don't remind me of that. I don't want to know. I don't want to catch any other germs. Don't want to catch any other germs. The whole fact that I'm going on a plane that's full of germs is freaking me out. Okay, so once you have done that, you're going to move on to clue number 8. Okay. Now, this is time for stamping. So remember we had this scrap piece here. You're going to use that to stamp maybe an image or a sentiment or whatever you like. So as I said, we're using the new Woolly Friends stamp set, and I'm really loving this sheep, and it's got a punch that goes with it, so that's going to be fun. So the colours I'm using today is basic grey, smoky slate and balmy blue. So let's just do our little bit of stamping. You'll be living vicariously through Ultimate Money. I think there's lots of people in that situation. On stage, it's such a beautiful event. I really love it. It's always so much fun. And I've tried to attend as many as I can, but sometimes I've missed a couple over the years because I haven't been able to justify like travelling to Sydney or Melbourne. Actually, I've never done an on stage in Melbourne or a convention or anything because it just hasn't worked out. And I'm really disappointed about that. Okay. So you're going to stamp your chosen image and then you're going to die cut it or punch it or whatever it is that you need to do. If you're not stamping an image and just stamping a sentiment, well, you can do that here. Or you can just bide your time. Yeah. One of the good things about being a Silver Elite Stamping demonstrator is that they give you one free event a year, and so you could use it for on stage or backstage or Creativity Now or something like that. So it's always a lot of fun. I'm just taking a few minutes to just get my little sheepy stamped. Okay. So what's everyone's plans for the weekend? Oh. We're trying to disinfect the house this weekend. Although it might be too soon. I'm hoping. On stage in New Zealand is amazing. I loved it. It was so good. I've done the same thing. It was so much fun. And like it's a big ask though to travel internationally for an on stage, but it's much easier to go to New Zealand than it is to go to say the United States or from Australia. Anyway, okay, so sorry, I'm taking a little bit longer than I planned stamping this one. So I'm giving you, you're doing a bit of work. Yes, Wendy, I used mine for on stage too. It does make it a lot easier to attend. Okay, all right. I'm going to move on to clue number 8. Yeah. Sorry, clue number 9. So this is where you stamp your sentiment on your scrap if you haven't already done so in the other clue. Yeah, US conventions are very different. I went to on stage in Orlando and it was amazing. It was so good. I would definitely do that, Megan. I would definitely go to the States again if for an on stage. So today is my first time crafting in like 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. So I'm hoping that this works out. All right. So once you've done your sentiment, we're going to move on to clue 9. Oh, sorry, clue 10. So on your other piece of basic white, this piece here, which is 3 3/4 by 5.5, you're going to maybe stamp a decorative border, or you're going to stamp another sentiment or something. Yes. It's completely up to you. So now this piece, without giving too much away, you're going to see the whole piece, all right? So you're just going to take a few minutes to do that. And now make sure as you're stamping, you're putting your stamp, you're cleaning them and putting them away, your stamps away, straight away. Because you don't want to have the situation that I had where I lost one of my stamps from a brand new stamp set because I didn't put it away and I can't find it anywhere. And I suspect that it might have ended up in the... Oh, hi Wendy, thanks for watching. Yes, it'll be on replay, and I will download it and save it to YouTube. So we're getting near the end. We've got 2 clues left after this one. Alright, so once you've stamped this one, this piece, you can then pop it on the centre back of your card, of your base card. Okay, and don't do what I just did and stamp it the wrong way. So I have to re-stamp mine because I forgot I didn't do it the right way. Oh, Oakley. So you've got to be very mindful of what direction your paper is going. Okay. Oh, it hasn't turned up yet, Wendy. It's been 3 weeks. Actually, it's been longer than that, so I don't think it will turn up. It might turn up today when I make Steve clean up his mess in the study. Oh, goodness. So make sure when you're doing mystery stamping that you have some spare cardstock on hand in case you completely mess it up like I just did and you have to cut a new piece. But because I just completely messed mine up. Now you don't have to stamp the back. I might even do one without a back stamped. We'll just see. And I have just realised I've cut my piece wrong, but it's alright. Oh, goodness me. It's funny how when things that normally are no effort at all, when you have a cold or a bug or something, they take so much effort. Putting away as your craft, Wendy, is such a good thing. I should do that more with my stamps. Alright. Now, who knows what clue number 11 might be? Any guesses? Any guesses? No guesses for clue number 11? Surely there will be one. Well, we'll just have to go and have a look and see what clue number 11 is. If you guessed it's adding bling, then that would be awesome. Oh goodness, I stuck something on upside down. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, just fix that. Okay, so we've gonna put our little die cuts on the front if we haven't already done that. On the front of our note card, we're going to do our bit of bling. I think I missed out a step in my clues. Or maybe I didn't read them. I'm sure I wrote them down. Okay, so we're just going to pop our little stuff and add any bling if you want to add bling. I didn't show you the bling that I was going to use. I'm only going to use diamantes this time, or basic rhinestones, these ones. Now, big tip when you're working with bling, try and do it in odd numbers so that it looks more balanced and it just looks more pleasing to the eye if you're just using odd number pieces of bling. Now this isn't my best project so far, but I'm sure you'll forgive me. Every crafter has good and bad days, and today isn't the best day. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. So we'll just make sure your sentiment's on, your bling's on, all your labels are together. Now some people, they prefer to stamp first and they would do all our stamping steps right near the beginning, and that's quite okay. So if you look at this later on and go, oh, I want to do all my, or you've got stuff stamped. Oh, I'm glad you're back at it, Wendy. You've had a lot going on. You've had so much going on. And if I'm not Jeremy, I'll be giving you a hug on Thursday when I see you. All right. That's a long time to not have stamped. So, how's everyone going with their project? Do you want to see what I made? Oh, and I just wrecked. Ah, goodness me. I just dropped my sentiment in my ink. Told you it wasn't the best day. And I was going to use smoky slate on mine, and I didn't end up using it. You know what? That is quite all right. Okay. So, are we almost ready? Oh, you've moved into your new house. Oh, that is so exciting, Wendy. It's hard to stamp with only the basics. Like I've been stamping in the living room or lounge room for a couple of weeks because I've been waiting for Steve to finish my new desk in my craft room because, as some of you know, don't have a desk in my craft room or a spot to stamp. It's really a storage room. And so I stamp at the dining table and it drives me nuts. So I protested and moved everything into the lounge room. Like I moved a folding table into the lounge room the other week so I could watch the Super Bowl. And I haven't moved it back because it's a little protest because it's taken so long. And I know Steve has been busy with work and stuff, but it has taken way longer than what it should to get my drawers and things finished. Like it's taken months and months longer. And, you know, you have to make a stand. All right, so this is my little card from today. Okay, I'm just going to close up my ink pads before I get started, before I get ink on them. Right, so I had to stamp the back 3 times, but anyway, so this is the front, and you've got your little note card so you can write something in it, but you've also got room on the back so you can write as well. Alright, and it's supposed to have a bow here, so we'll just do that bow to keep it closed. Okay. And so when the bow is done, it is super cute. Alright. And it looks more finished. Alright, but then you can also do it as a portrait style card, which is how I did my first one. And my bow is upside down, so let me just grab that. And that's my first one that I did. So it's super cute. And I used, instead of stamping, I used the mix and match ephemera. And these are my little flowers on the back. So same papers, a different stamp and different colours, but it is definitely a really good way to use up those Memories and More note cards if you don't make note cards. All right, and you get 4 cards out of a sheet of cardstock. And if you were making it in the States or Canada, your base card would be a slightly different size, but the rest of it works the same. All right. Okay, so that is our mystery stamping for this week. For this month. I hope that you liked it and that you will join me again next month for some mystery stamping, and also over on YouTube next Tuesday night for Facebook Live. YouTube Live. Have to get out of saying Facebook Live. For Tuesday Night Lives, that's what we're going to call it. And I'll be showing you some new things that I've got recently. Okay, until next time, happy creating and bye for now.